Hi everyone, I'm Daisy Rocha and this is what's happening in Brazil. We start by updating you on the latest news from the country. In a landmark decision that could reduce the number of convictions in the country, the Supreme Court decided this week to decriminalize the possession of marijuana for personal use. People now can have up to 40 grams of weed without risking being arrested as drug dealers. Last weekend, people, in particular women from several cities across Brazil, took to the streets again to oppose the rape bill, also known as the child pregnancy bill. Currently in the Chamber of Deputies, it proposed to equate legal abortion to homicide at over 22 weeks of gestation, including in cases of rape. In Rio de Janeiro, demonstrations took place in Copacabana. Protests took place also in the states of Minas Gerais and São Paulo. Following a huge public outcry, lawmakers postponed the vote and the bill will be discussed next semester. Indigenous communities are being affected by mercury exposure through contaminated water and food. This chemical is commonly used in illegal gold mining in the Amazon, where miners mix it with sediment to extract gold, releasing the element into the environment. In the Yanomami indigenous land, the federal government has expelled most illegal miners, yet armed groups persist. The Brazilian Institute for Environment and Renewable Natural Resources is reformulating its control measures on the purchase and sale of mercury. The agency said new rules will come into force soon. For 25 years, 71 landless rural families have been encamped at Rural Resistance Community in Cascavel, Paraná, an area approximately the size of 3 football fields. After facing eviction threats and enduring a months-long vigil, their struggle has finally paid off. Last week, the National Institute for Colonization and Agrarian Reform issued a decree stating that the state will acquire São Domingos farm for agrarian reform purposes. Our story of the week features the Flexais community in Maceió, where residents impacted by Braskem operations protest against the damage from the company's revitalization efforts. Despite a signing agreement with prosecutors and a relocation recommendation from an inquiry, the company's work persists, with many families seeking to move out.
Look here. We live like this, locked up.
The two sisters chose to give the interview like this. They are locked in by 2 padlocks. Having lived in Flexais for 20 years, Maria and Josefa's family want to be relocated after the Braskem crime in Maceió. The public prosecutor's office estimates that of about 2,700 families, only 20% intend to remain in the neighborhood.
We want to be relocated and receive fair compensation because there is no way to live here. They've turned us into animals, not even animals, because the dogs have been removed and so have the cats. Everything has been taken away. Now we're left here in this desert.
Access to the Flexais is only possible by crossing the historic center of Bebedouro and other areas that now look like deserts. Since 2018, approximately 40,000 people have been evacuated from the 5 neighborhoods affected by subsidence. The community is, therefore, in what is known as a socio-economic isolation area. In other words, although the city civil defense does not consider the area at risk, all the public facilities that used to serve the population have been relocated or deactivated, meaning that the population lives without public transport, security, schools, and health centers.
We put up a banner here. Look at our outrage. Flexais is mourning. Braskem is a criminal company. Justice is silent, and the people weep. We are very outraged.
In the final report of the Parliamentary Commission of Inquiry about Braskem, approved on May 21st, the mining company and its vice president were indicted for crimes committed in the Alagoas capital city, including ambitious mining. The report calls for civil defense to restructure the risk map, review the compensation agreements for affected families, and consider the risk of socio-economic isolation. Despite the texts accepting the wish to relocate the Flexais families, the revitalization works in the neighborhoods continue flat out, therefore opposing the investigation. They even continued during the sessions in Brasília. The constructions carried out by a Braskem outsourced company, Diagonal, are part of the 23 measures provided for in the Flexais project, created in 2022 after an agreement between Braskem, the City Hall, the State Public Prosecutor's Office, and the Federal Public Defender's Office. The project paid compensation of 25,000 reais per family, but according to the residents of the neighborhood, it was established without their participation, disrespecting the intention of most families to leave the site.
This construction is absurd. It's creating one problem after another. After everything we've been through, I've never seen so much investment in repairing two small areas of a road. I think the right thing to do for us would be to relocate.
Some weeks ago, as one of the actions of the Flexais project, a quote-unquote entrepreneurship fair was organized in the neighborhood, which was marked by a low number of participants. Some residents protested outside the event, claiming that the initiative was aimed at normalizing the chaos in Flexais. During the fair, according to the families, the ground shook, the houses cracked, and the rain completely flooded several streets.
In this week's Culture Talk, you will learn how community gardens are helping to generate income and tackle food insecurity in Jardim Ibirapuera, São Paulo. The Ibira 30 program aims to address social inequalities and bring residents together in a so-called educating neighborhood.
Wilson Ferreira Gomes, known in Felicidade Favela as Pica-Pau, leads the activities in the Happy Vegetable Garden.
It's all organic. Everything here is organic. We don't spray poison or anything. Everything is organic here.
The vegetable garden built by Pica-Pau and his uncle was a seed that sprouted in a community that had little access to organic food.
A lot of people here couldn't eat lettuce, but nowadays someone comes here and picks up a head of lettuce, give me some cabbage, and we give it to them.
Cultivating healthy food is one of the axes of the Ibira 30 program. This social innovation laboratory works for community development and social inequality reduction in Jardim Ibirapuera, southern São Paulo. The goal is that by 2030, residents will have autonomy and be at the center of the debate about the territory's development. One challenge is to reduce food insecurity and the consumption of ultra-processed foods.
Within Ibira 30, we have several areas of action: community action, culture action, health action, and agriculture action, such as the Zero Hunger program. So there are 4 axes of action on which we build the Jardim Ibirapuera neighborhood.
Currently, the program has 4 gardens and around 10 people working with land and plants. The goal is to reach 18,000 square meters of land for food production. The farmers involved in the program earn a monthly wage through the municipal program Operação Trabalho. Maria is from Arapiraca, in the state of Alagoas. She worked all her life in sugarcane and tobacco monocultures until she moved to São Paulo. She has lived in Jardim Ibira for over 30 years and now runs the Maria's Vegetable Garden.
I came here to pick a spring onion. I forgot to go home. because I was tilling the soil. I decided to take a dry leaf off a spring onion, and when I realized, half an hour had passed. I feel very well working with the soil in the city of São Paulo. It has made me complete. I got what I needed. We say that a lettuce leaf here has a natural smell. You smell it when you pick it up. Each food item here has its own smell. You can smell it when you take it out. We know very well that there are industrialized places that you won't smell. I think that when the community itself, the people who work here, brings this feeling related to smells and natural food, that's what makes many of them who come from the countryside, northeastern Brazil, or more distant places, when they come here and smell it, they say that it smells like home. They say that it smells like home. So we're not just bringing healthy food to these people. We're bringing them a little part they miss, and they will know where to find it. Where can you find a little piece of land that is a little piece of gold, both for us to cultivate and for the environment? You have to be aware that if you have a place like this, you're contributing to the future.
Did you like the show? So hit the like button and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive notifications. We will see you next week.